We're gonna go behind the ferry.
Yep. Starting to wind up.
Yep. Actually, we're gonna go in before that.
Copy.
My rake. Copy.
Trimming up. Trimming up.
2, 1, lock. Oh.
Oh, stop.
Stopping.
Stop. Are you good? It's not good.
Okay, stopping.
Chase boat. Coming alongside.
We were doing a little bit of training. We'd probably sail for 30, 40 minutes, and Martin had a bad fall on in the middle of attack, and he is not looking good, to be honest. He's quite concerned that his shoulder is broken. We'll see. We're going to the hospital now and trying to figure out to get an X-ray as soon as possible, so we can see how his condition is.
I feel terrible. It's mostly the feeling of possibly letting the team down for the next couple of days. And well, I haven't talked to a doctor yet, so before I say anything in terms of the shoulder, I want to wait and talk to them.
Just x-rayed him and it's come back as a broken shoulder.
Okay. Yep. That's sad. Yep, I think we'll just get the boat out of water. I'll go tell the guys now to not speak too much and too many, and then we'll have a briefing afterwards over here at the corner and we'll make a plan from there.
Okay.
Yep. Cool.
I mean, a situation like that is not something we expect or plan for, but again, a little bit it is, because we have to build a team where you can face challenges, you can, lose one of the team members to an injury and still be a strong team. That's the main job for me, is to put together a team that will succeed and that will work in all kinds of circumstances and in all kinds of trouble. And I think that was a good test to the team. We removed one of our key persons in Martin, and we still functioned as a team. We still were able to move on, and that's exactly the team I want to be a part of, and I want to have with me. No matter what comes at it, we're going to deal with it. We're going to be, sort of realistic and deal with it in the right way, but we are going to move on, and that's just the way it is.
When you're out, you feel like you're letting the team down, and that's a terrible feeling. On the inside, it's painful, but you don't want to walk around, show that attitude. You just want to, that's something you deal with yourself. The word resilience to me means that it's not over until it's over. Do whatever you can to fight back.
So I've known Martin probably since we're 11, 12 years old, growing up in Opties, and Martin is probably one of the hardest working guys I've been around on the Olympic scene, and we've traveled to World Cup events and the Olympics together, and it's just, he has that very defining character.
In the days 2008, just before the Olympic medal race, me and my helmsman were leading the Olympics with a fairly convenient lead, but then around 40 minutes before the medal race, the last day of racing, we broke the mast, and when we broke it, we felt like it was over, because there was no way we were going to be able to race this race. We put so much into it and we wanted it so much, so we were in a dark place.
Imagine working for something every day for 8 years. Like morning, breakfast, lunch, dinner. It's what you dream about at night. It's what you do every single day. And then have it taken away from you. It's devastating. It would break any person for life.
But as we got closer to the shore, a little idea came up, and when we came in, we just looked for a boat that still had a mast up, and we just started taking it.
On my way in, I see a Croatian 49er coming out, and I didn't think much of it as it was passing, until I saw their coach Jesper, behind the boat, and I sort of turned around and looked at it, and I was like, "Fuck, that's Martin and Jonas." And I was like, "What? what the hell is going on? And I raced into the ramp, pulled my boat up, left the sail up, ran up to the grandstands to see if they could actually make the start.
There's a 4-minute time limit after the gun goes to cross the starting line, and we cross the start line 3 minutes and 57 seconds late.
3 seconds. Imagine how many times they're thinking what they could have been 3 seconds slower about going out. It's those 3 seconds that defines their whole life, their career. And they made it, and count 3 seconds in your mind. It's nothing. And that's what changed everything.
For me, this was a life-changing experience. We finished the race in 7th place, which was enough to secure the gold. And then we are 2 happy boys on the Danish 49er.
This was probably one of the greatest Olympic stories of all time. To withstand the pressure that they were on, if that isn't resilience, I don't know what is. That's why Martin's in this team, is that he is so focused on what he does. He just doesn't give up.
Well done the last 48 hours, guys. I think we're as ready as we can be to go sailing today and go out and do the best we can. It's been an absolute pleasure seeing everybody working so hard the last 2 weeks, but also especially the last 2 days. I think we've really tightened everything up, and I can't wait until today. I really look forward to see the races, and good luck, boys.
Cheers, guys. Thank you. Feels very exciting. I mean, you can definitely feel the team is ready, but they're also a bit excited. It's a lot of new things for us, and we are going to be sort of in a new territory today, sailing in 18 to 20 knots in day one. It's a bit of a vision, and we also have some high-speed forwards we never tried before. So there's a bit of excitement, but also a bit of nerve, but that's good.
I mean, our first reaction to Sydney, the result in the sailing in Sydney, was a bit of a disappointment, because we were in the mix in most races. We were top 3 in a lot of the races, and then we sort of just fall behind a little bit, fall short in the maneuvers and the decisions, and naturally we're disappointed as a sailing team that wants to win. But we gained so much more in Sydney than we knew afterwards, and when we're looking back at it, we managed to really have a lot of data from Sydney we can look into now going forward. We can learn from the other teams. We also, we tested a few things in Sydney. Some of it worked well, something we want to continue to build on, and something didn't work, and we scrapped that already and have a new plan for the next event. So in general, Sydney was good to us, and it put us in a lot better position now going into next season than we were before.
We're just frustrated because we're actually our biggest enemy right now, making mistakes and not sailing the boat clean, and that's just something we gotta fix and prepare for San Fran. But all in all, pretty happy. It's first event, and I think we're definitely more in the game than most people think we would be in the first event.
Whereas Denmark, who had a nightmare in race 1 here this afternoon, are having a much better time of it here in race 2. So it's Denmark in 3rd.
Just shook hands with Nikolai. How do you think the new guys did it?
I think they did really well. These boats, it's really hard to explain to people just how tough they are to sail. And I was watching Nikolai and the Danish team. They've improved a lot through this racing that we've had here the last 2 days, but also the training period we had beforehand. So I expect when we go to San Francisco and all of the teams are using the new wing, I think that will be a benefit for Denmark, and I expect them to be really challenging for the top spots.
Well, it's quite incredible, isn't it? I mean, you think a little over 8 weeks ago we were in Sydney running our event, and at that stage the coronavirus situation was starting to get roots, but nobody expected it to develop the way it's gone.
We're always expecting challenges, as a team, and especially at this level. And the pandemic was just another one that we didn't see coming, but eventually hit us, and we had to deal with it in the best way we could. And first thought is, disappointment, a bit of, annoyed that you suddenly get into grip of it and you suddenly get going and then you can't. But quickly it just again turns into, okay, how do we move on from here? How do we turn this into a positive for us, and how do we, learn quicker compared to the other teams in this year? And again, it just, as I mentioned many times, the strongest team is when you have a strong sponsor on the top, setting a culture where we keep working, we put our heads down, and ROCKWOOL did exactly that. They said, okay, what do you need to get better this year? How do we keep improving?
Hello everyone, and welcome to this virtual press conference.
So we're very proud that today we're launching this new initiative, which is Team ROCKWOOL Racing, which is a partnership between ROCKWOOL and the Denmark SailGP athletes. So we keep the athletes together so that they can fill up the time until April 2021, when we go live again with our team, in order to train and better prepare.
Team ROCKWOOL Racing is all about building a strong foundation that will always be there in the future when we're trying to add layers in different areas: communication, teamwork, sailing the boat, tactics, data, whatever it is we're building and we're improving. We always want a strong foundation that will be our backbone, and that's what Team ROCKWOOL Racing is.